Good morning, students. Welcome to my class. Today we will start economics in your social science. That is chapter number 15, economic development. Now, economy. What is economy? I can tell you in one word that related to money. Whenever there is a question of money, income, or expenses, how we earn, how we spend, on what we spend, that all economic activities are known as economic activities or economy. It is related to finance of the country or related to money matters. All the money matters are known as economy. So let us start the lesson. Every person's morning begins in a different way. Many people lead their life full of material pleasure, but maximum people of the world are seen struggling for existence. Means we can say not many people are rich in the world. Some are rich, but mostly the population of the world, it is average, or means poor or below poverty line, we can say. And today this problem has aggravated. It become more troublesome, we can say, in current crisis of pandemic. For these people who are called poor, physical pleasure, well-being, or resting is an imagination only. Now, I told you some are rich, many are poor in the world. So, pleasure, physical pleasure, well-being, resting, these things are not associated, or they do not enjoy. Poor people do not enjoy physical pleasure, they don't have wealth, property, they are not well, under malnutrition is there, they remain sick mostly, and rest is not there in their life. They are always busy in doing something or the other. How has this situation originated? Now, why there are many poor in the world? How has this situation originated? How to come out of this situation? How we can come out of this situation, means make poor people rich or above poverty line? Such type of questions have their answers. Every problem has a solution, so each question has an answer also. So let us understand economic development, the next topic. Economic development. In today's modern world, every country is trying to achieve development. All are trying to achieve development. Even the developed nations, they try to go further. They also try to progress. So development, it is a continuous process. It is not stopping process. Nobody can say we are fully developed. Development keeps on and on. So development is a continuous process, we can say. But development is not confined to economic development only. Being rich, being financially sound is not only economic development. There are many things involved in economic development. It is a process of social change having many phases. So being rich does not mean he is developed or the country is developed. There are many phases. It is a multifaceted, we can say, social change. There are many changes which occur, then only we can say there is development. Economic development shows constant increases in national income of a country. Economic development, first sign of economic development is constant increase, means continuous increase. Not that sometimes there is increase and sometimes there is fall in national income, then we cannot say there is economic development. Continuous national income increases of a country, then we can say there is economic development. Now economic development means constant increase in national income of a country. This already we have discussed. Increase in per capita income of a country. If the income of the country increases, when it is divided by the total population, the total income of the country is GDP, we say, total national income, and when it is divided by the per head, means population of the country, then we get the per capita income of a country. So it should also increase. Then the third most important point is improvement in the living standard of the people. Means they have many facilities which they were not getting previously. Their living standard increases. Suppose you are living in a rented house, then you have your own house. When you, if you are having a cycle, then you are having a bike. Like this, education, higher education, then good schools, good medical facilities, all these things when happen simultaneously or continuously, then we can say there is improvement in the living standard of the people. So these 3 points are totally, we can say, if these 3 points match with each other, or total 3 points satisfied, then we can call there is an economic development. This is called economic development. Total of income of the country is called national income, GDP also it is called. By dividing the total income of the country with total population of the country, we obtain per capita income. This I already explained. While living standard includes, now the third point which was there, living standard. What does living standard include? It's like obtaining food, clothes, education, health services, transportation services, as well as shelter, means home. These all are included in the living standard. So money plus this living standard, the points included in living standard, this happens continuously, then we can say there is economic development. Because of increase in national income and per capita income in India after independence, there has been improvement in services and facilities such as availability of food grains, clothes, electricity, education, health services, shelter, etc. So the living standard of Indians have increased, has gone up in level after independence, because after independence only we were able to stand on our own legs. Before that we were slaves. British used to rule our country, and you have read history how we were exploited, how they looted us. We were not in a position, we were very poor during the British rule. So we may say that economic development is taking place in India. Now we can say that economic development is there in India, but during the struggle of independence, before the independence, it was not there. Now national income of India, GDP, gross domestic product, which was rupees 87 lakhs 36,039 crores in 2011-12, has increased to rupees 1 crore 35 lakhs 67,192 crores in 2015-16. Now in economics, one thing you will always face, the problem you will always face regarding the statistics or data, the numbers, they always keep on changing. Economic keeps on changing, so every year the data will change. This data is 5 years back. The current data, I will tell you the current data. The national income, GDP of India in 2019-20 is 2950 US dollars billion. US dollars billion. Now what is a billion? Billion, it is 1000 million, and what is million? It is 10 lakhs. So this 2950 you have to multiply by 1000, that is million, then again by 1000. 1 billion is equal to 100 crores. So 2950 100 crores, 295000 crores, then US dollar 1 is equal to almost 75 rupees. So again you have to multiply by 75, then you will get the actual gross domestic product. Now per capita income, I will tell you, $1 is equal to 75.56 rupees at present. Then if you convert it, today's per capita income, it is by 2020 it will reach to 2900 US dollars by the end of 2020, which comes to 2,17,500 rupees per capita income. 2,17,500 rupees per capita income. So this is how the figures are generated, we can say. Difference between economic progress and economic development. Progress and development, by the way, you will see that it is a synonymous word, or they mean the same, but in economics there is difference in these words. So let us see what is the difference. In ordinary sense, economic progress as well as economic development, both the words show an increase. Progress and development means there is always plus, there is always increase, then we can say progress is there, development is there. But there is a lot of difference between both of them. They are as follows. What is the difference between economic progress and economic development? On the basis of the development process, now on the basis of development process, economic development is qualitative. Qualitative means quality is there in development, while economic progress is quantitative. We can measure in terms of rupees economic progress. The income when increases, it is quantitative. GDP increases, per capita income increases, it is quantitative. But quality means the lifestyle changes, the standard of life changes along with the, we can say, money, then it is qualitative, then it is economic development. Economic development is first stage, while economic progress is the stage after economic development. The first stage is economic development and the second stage is economic progress. According to, second point is according to changes taking place in economy. On the basis of new researches in economy, increase in production is economic development. When there is an increase in production in the country, we say there is economic development. Because of research in hybrid seeds in agricultural sector, there has been manifold increase in agricultural production. In 9th standard in geography, you might have HYV seeds and the new methods of cultivation, farming, agriculture production has increased manifold, we can say. So this is also counted as economic development. This shows economic development. On the other side, when there is increase in agricultural production because of increase in agricultural land, now land also increases along with the, we can say, upper shown hybrid seeds, then we can say fertilizers and everything we are using today in modern world agriculture. If the land also increases, then we can say it is not only development, it is also called economic progress. Third point, in relation to developed and developing nations. Developed nations are there, developing nations are there, maybe underdeveloped nations are also there, but let us compare India, which is a developing nation, to the developed nations. Difference is seen in both of them in relation to developed and developing nations also. Increase of national income of developed countries is called economic progress. Now we see they are already developed, so when their income increases again, we can call it is as economic progress, the stage after the development. So if developed nations, their income rises, their per capita income rises, they are going to economic progress, or they are achieving economic progress. While increase in national income of developing countries is called economic development, but the increase in national income of developing countries is called economic development. The first stage is development and the second stage is progress. That is what you have to remember. Now very important point, features means characteristics of developing economy. कैसे हम बोल सकते हैं कि कोई इकोनॉमी डेवलपिंग है, कौन से पॉइंट्स ऐसे होते हैं जो हमको ध्यान में रखने होते हैं. दिस इज़ अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन, इट इज़ मोस्टली आस्क्ड इन द बोर्ड एग्जाम्स. Economy of developed and developing countries is separated on the basis of per capita income. This is a blank, you can remember that on what basis the economies are separated, how they are told it is developing or developed. It is on the basis of per capita income. As per World Development Report of 2004 of World Bank, countries having less than $735 per capita income are categorized as developing economy. So you can multiply 735 by 75 rupees, into 75, then you will get 2004 per capita income of a developing economy. Below that, it is known as developing economy. Now, features, characters or factors we can say of developing economy. The first is less per capita income. This already we have discussed. National income of developing countries is less while population growth rate is high. On one side, income is less but the population grows at a high rate. So naturally that income is divided into more people again and again. So the per capita income will always decrease. So per capita income remains low. Because of less per capita income, living standard of people is low. Not many enjoy luxurious life, or we can say facilities, life of full of facilities, good education, health, private hospitals. This is not enjoyed by everybody. Some enjoy, but majority of them do not enjoy these good features or good facilities of the country. Second, population growth. Population growth rate is high in developing nations. Rate of population growth rate is 2% is or more in these nations. The population increases at more or 2% or more in developing countries, we can say. If you see, all these points are interrelated. Population growth, then low income, low per capita income. If you see, all these points are interrelated, so you should underline the main points and study them. Third, dependence on agriculture. India is mainly dependent on agriculture. Main occupation of the people of developing countries is agriculture. More than 60% of the population is dependent on agriculture for employment. And the returns, the income from agriculture is not fixed, as you know. The crop failures are there many times, more rain, less rain, floods, locust attack. You can see the current issue was locust attack. So many times agriculture fails, and that is the main income of the country. So again the country goes back. Contribution of agriculture in national income of this nation is about 26%. You can see the difference. 60% people are involved in this occupation, but the output, the income generated from this is only 26%. So less than half income is generated. 60% are engaged, but only 26% income is there. Fourth point, unequal distribution of income. Many are rich, no, some are rich, many are poor, we can say. That is known as unequal distribution of income. Unequal distribution of income and factors of production is seen in developing countries. Also the income and also the factors of production are not equal between the population. This inequality is seen in cities as well as villages. Not only in villages but in cities also we can say unequal distribution of income and factors of production. 20%, now see the variation. 20% rich people of the country share 40% of the national income. 20% of rich people of the country share 40% of the national income, and the poorest 20% people share 10% of the national income. So 20% rich, they are generating 40% national income, but 20% poor, the remaining, we can say the 20% people who are poorest, their income generation is only 10%. This, or they are having only 10% of the national income. This concentration means it is located in the hands of people. Income and property is seen in the hand of rich people in the developing economy. So concentration means mainly who is having income or who is having property? The rich, who are only 20%, and the poor who are more in the country, they are only having 10% of the share. Fifth is unemployment. Unemployment may be counted as important feature of developing countries. In these countries, ratio of unemployment is more than 3% of the total labor. The ratio of unemployment is 3% of the total labor. In these countries, different types of unemployment may be seen. And unemployments are of different types. Example, seasonal unemployment, disguised unemployment, industrial unemployment, etc. Moreover, the period of unemployment is very long. Different types of unemployment are there, and even it is for a longer period. Sixth, poverty. Poverty is also a feature of developing economy. People who are not able to satisfy their primary needs, necessities like food, clothing, shelter, education, and health are called poor. In developing countries, such people constitute one third of the total population. So, at present, if we regard 135 crores population of India, so 45 crores are poor in India, we can say, maybe more than that. Next is dual economy. The economy of a developing country is based on dual or mixed system. On one side, backward farming, old machinery, orthodox means traditional, old age, social structure, less production are seen in villages. Villages have such type, backward farming is there, old machinery is used or machinery is not used, traditional methods are used, orthodox social structure is there, traditional beliefs are there, production is less in villages. And on the other side, there are the cities having modern industries, new production process, modern implements, and modern sophisticated lifestyle. Having complex lifestyle, they are living luxurious lives in cities. Production is more. You can see roads, cities are well planned, production is more, and people enjoy. So we can say a lot of migration is there from rural to urban areas. Rural means village and urban means to cities. Next, insufficient infrastructure facilities. Crucially, vital infrastructural facilities like education, transportation, communication, electricity, health facilities, banking, etc. are less or lacking. Less, after that we should put a comma here. Less means lacking, they are not sufficient, lacking in developing countries, while which hinders the development of a nation. If these facilities are less or they are lacking, then we can say hinders means it is stopping or not allowing to go further. The development of a nation is obstructed or objected. Next is form of international trade. What is import and export? It is international trade, we can say. So what do we import and what do we export? That is international trade. The structure of foreign trade of developing countries is different. These countries mainly export agro products and farm products as well as mineral ores. Now this agro product means agricultural products or farm products or mineral ores, raw ores, we can say mineral ores, they are exported, they are sent to foreign countries. These type of products have less demand, they have less demand, one point, and low rate, their rate is also low. So what we are sending, it is not in demand and it is having low rate. So less income is gained by exporting these goods. So exports are less or their value is less. On the other hand, while imports, what do we get from other countries, what do we procure from other countries, that is known as imports. They include industrial products and machineries, weapons, modern technology, all these things we import from the foreign countries. And these things, as the cost of these products is more compared to what we send, what we are taking from other countries, its value is very much more. So expense on imports rises, the value of imports is very much high compared to the export. Thus, as a result, as the conditions of foreign trade are adverse, there is an increase in foreign debt. So we can say we owe to the countries, અમે દેવાદાર છીએ ફોરેન કન્ટ્રીઝના, અમને મળે છે ઓછું પણ આપવું પડે છે વધારે. સો દેટ ઇઝ ધ માઇનસ વી કેન સે, ઇટ ઇઝ અ ફોરેન ડેટ. Thus we see above mentioned features in developing countries. As Indian economy is developing, all these features are related to India in greater or lesser measure. So these things you can see in India, you can experience in India, or you know all these things about all these things. Now economic and non-economic activities. Before studying about Indian economy, let us know what economic and non-economic activities. Very important. What is economic activity? I have already explained previously, but let us see how it is explained here. Economic activities. Economic activity means earning or spending money for the exchange of commodities or services. I told you it is related to money. Wherever money comes in question, wherever money is there, it is an economic activity. For example, activities of a farmer, an artisan, a businessman, a teacher, etc. are included in economic activity. Then what are non-economic activities? Activities that are not aimed at obtaining income or reciprocate something indirectly are called non-economic activities. Which do not generate income, જેનાથી આપણે કમાતા નથી, સેવા આપણે કહીએ, સેવા કરતા હોઈએ છીએ પણ જેનાથી કોઈ ફાયદો થતો નથી, કોઈ આવક થતી નથી. or reciprocate means taste of educated and cultural high people, we can say, or give back something indirectly are called non-economic activities. For example, nurturing, bringing up of a child by the mother. She does not charge any money, she does not gain any money by bringing up her child. Activities of social services done by a social worker. The social workers, they do activities. Volunteer, when we do some work of volunteer, we are doing without any payment, so this work is known as non-economic activities, can be identified as non-economic activities. Structure of Indian economy. Various occupations and economic activities are classified in 3 sections. Very important to know, you already know these things. There are 3 sectors, we can say. First is primary sector, second is secondary sector, and third is service sector. Service sector is also known as tertiary. Tertiary means third sector. This classification of economic activities are recognized as commercial structure. It is divided, the works are divided into categories, nothing else but primary, secondary and service or tertiary sector. All the 3 sections and activities included in them may be discussed as follows. Now primary sector, agriculture and agriculture related activities. So agriculture, the word you have to remember is agriculture and related activities to agriculture, such as cattle rearing, cattle breeding, fishing, poultry farming, collection of forest products, mining of raw metal, etc. are included in primary sector. There is we can say process of production or manufacturing is not there. It is just growing up of crops and related activities to agriculture, basic activities, they are in primary sector. Secondary sector, now which things are produced in primary sector और what we get in primary sector, they are processed upon, उनके ऊपर कुछ प्रोसेस होता है और उसको दूसरे प्रोडक्ट में कन्वर्ट किया जाता है, यूजफुल प्रोडक्ट्स में कन्वर्ट किया जाता है. दैट इज़ नोन एज सेकेंडरी सेक्टर. स्मॉल एंड लार्ज स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज, फैक्ट्रीज, कंस्ट्रक्शन, electricity, gas and water supply are included in this section. So you can say industrial sector or related to industries, machines, construction, these all are included in the secondary. The production, process of production or production, we can say it is the secondary sector. Service sector. Third, different types of services are included in this section. Services like trade, business, व्यापार, communication, दूर व्यवहार संचार, airways, transportation, waterways, education, health, banking and insurance, tourism and entertainment are included in this sector, which help the primary and the secondary sector. These sectors are known as service sector or tertiary sector. Normally the primary sector dominates in developing countries. As a true or false or blank you can remember. Which sector dominates the developing countries? It is the primary sector or agriculture related activities. Primary sector contributes the most in employment generation and national income. The major part, it is told to be, or it is said to be, from the agriculture. National income and employment is generated through primary sector. However, as there is rise in economic development, significance of primary sector decreases in comparison to secondary and service sector, and importance of industrial sector and service sector increases. When an economy moves from primary sector to the secondary or tertiary sector, the importance is given, or the income is generated through the secondary or the tertiary sector, then we can say the economic development is there. But if the country remains in the process of primary sector, or the contribution of primary sector is more, then we can say it is in a developing stage. But development is achieved when the economy moves from the primary sector to the secondary and the tertiary sector, or their importance increases in a country. Now we will stop here today and we will continue the lecture tomorrow. So please go through this lecture once again and try to understand. It is a new topic, economics, but now as you are growing up, as you are going, you know what is profit, what is loss. Economics is not just related to money. In everyday life you will need economics. So try to understand as much as possible. If there is any doubt, you can ask me. Good day, take care, have a nice day.